Hey guys, welcome back and happy Thursday. All right, guys, well, we're back to talk about some Real Housewives of Atlanta tea and some former cast members of. I'm always excited to talk about these ladies, and I cannot wait to get our new season of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I want to see what it looks like without Porsha Williams. I'm definitely going to miss Cynthia Bailey, but I do understand why it was time for her to go, especially with her life and her storyline coming full circle. Now, we're going to be talking about Cynthia, but before we do, if you guys haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell because, well, you don't want to miss anything we have coming up. With that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so apparently Cynthia Bailey is opening up on one thing she misses about the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Says she felt disconnected at the reunion, and she's sharing her thoughts on Marlo and Sheree. Plus, she was asked would she ever consider joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. We have the details. Real Housewives of Atlanta alum and current Celebrity Big Brother contestant Cynthia Bailey is moving on with her life after her tenure on the hit Bravo show. In a new interview, she's sharing her thoughts on the new cast additions and what she misses most about the show. She also shares her thoughts on former co-star Nene Leakes, and she hints at a possible return to the Housewives franchise. What? Okay. Sitting down with the Behind the Velvet Rope with David Yontief podcast, which we're big fans of David Yontief. We've had him on the show before. He has an amazing podcast and has some of the best interviews. So if you haven't checked him out, make sure you check him out. Do not sleep on David Yontief. Cynthia explained that she hasn't really had the time to process the fact that she is no longer a part of the show and probably wouldn't until the show airs. She said, I honestly hadn't had a lot of time to think about the fact that I'm not on the show anymore, to be very honest with you. Like it's kind of weird sometimes not to, because I just call myself a former housewife now because I forgot I'm not on the show sometimes. But honestly, it really hasn't hit me. I don't think it's going to hit me until the show airs. That's fair. I mean, that makes sense. Always one to be honest, Cynthia also does miss the paycheck the show provided, but she says she's got projects and opportunities in the works and has always been financially secure. She said, well, let's keep it 100. I mean, I was getting paid very well to be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. That was definitely like, how do I replace this check? So of course, I went right into hustle mode, but I had already been planting seeds the whole time when I was thinking about this. Cynthia also explained that her marriage plays a major factor in her decision to leave the Real Housewives of Atlanta, as the work would have taken attention away from her relationship. Plus, she admitted that she felt disconnected at her final reunion. I was at the reunion, I just felt so disconnected. I just felt like, wow, I don't really have anything else to say. I just don't have anything else I want to share. For me, it was always kind of a full circle moment. I got married my first season and I got married my last season, and I really wanted to commit to my marriage. As for her thoughts on bringing back Sheree Whitfield and prompting Marlo Hampton to a full-time peach holder, Cynthia has nothing but positive things to say about the two. She said, I'm so excited for Marlo. I mean, she's definitely put in her time, so I think the fans deserve to get to see more of her life. She added about Sheree that Sheree's been on and off the show for as long as she's been on the show. So I think a little dose of Sheree is always on time. Despite the show still going strong, the franchise did see a decline in ratings over the past few seasons. And when Cynthia was asked if she thought it was because of her former frenemy, Nene Leakes' absence, she didn't mince words. I don't think that any one person is bigger than the show. That's fair too, because we have to remember this is an ensemble cast. I mean, Nene Leakes was a huge personality on the show, and LVP was a huge personality on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills continue, and the Real Housewives of Atlanta will continue. That's like when people are saying, we don't know if Ramona can be kicked off of the Real Housewives of New York. That's not true. We've seen it before. Vicki Gunvalson thought there would be no show without her, and Orange County's still going. So I agree with Cynthia when she says, I don't think any one person is bigger than the show. She said, I think the show is always going to go on. You know what I'm saying? However, I do think that Nene, no one's ever going to argue that she's like, I'll say it in this interview, like I've said it in all other interviews. When you think of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, you think of Nene Leakes because she was the breakout star then. And she definitely is the one person that comes to mind. As for a return to the franchise, no. Hold on. As for a return to the franchise, since becoming bi-coastal and spending most of her time out in Los Angeles, Cynthia said she would totally be down for joining the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. For sure, would I consider Beverly Hills whenever I decided I wanted to go for another round of Housewives? 100%. Yeah, I'm spending most of my time out in LA now, and this is, Noelle's here. It's feeling more and more like home for me. So yes, I would absolutely consider it. Yes, when and if it makes sense, definitely. All right. I don't know if this is the thing though. We've only had crossovers. We've seen Vanderpump Rules meet Summer House, and we've seen like a crossover like that. But as for full-time crossovers, we've gotten one in our whole life. Well, Bravo's whole life. And that would be Frederick Eklund. He was the only person who went from being a full-time cast member on $1 Million Listing New York to being a full-time cast member on $1 Million Listing Los Angeles. This hasn't been done before. We've never seen a housewife crossover. We even know at one point Caroline Stanbury, who is now being featured on the first season of The Real Housewives of Dubai, was in talks to potentially join New York or Beverly Hills because they loved her so much. But I think the conflict here is people know her from Ladies of London, so it's going to be hard to kind of work her into a new franchise. For Cynthia Bailey, it's the same thing. These women also have very opulent lifestyles, over-the-top lifestyles. Not saying that Cynthia's is not, but I believe her husband and her, I think they live in Porter Ranch, which is, the women give Kyle Richards and Dorit crap for living in the Valley, but Porter Ranch is like beyond. That's way further than going to Encino. Encino is just a hop, skip, and a jump right over the hill back to Beverly Hills. It's about a 15, 20-minute ride, not that big of a deal. Porter Ranch, however, is not. Sure, could she rent a home or buy a home just like they do on Salt Lake City to be in the area to make sure she filmed? Yeah, but would they ever cross over and let Cynthia Bailey join the cast? Again, I'm not seeing a crossover in the works. But I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. Guys, I want you to go ahead and comment below. Give me all of your opinions because I'm asking for them. And before you go, don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. This is our last video of the day, so I know I said it on all of my other pre-records, but thank you for all of the amazing, participation this morning on our morning show. And thank you for participating in the Orange County recap with Jason and I. And thank you for buying tickets to Zach and I's shows in April. Los Angeles, New York, and Nashville. It's going to be so incredible. I just really appreciate all of the love and support. You guys always show up. And I can't explain to you how much that means. I mean, honestly, I could just get off of here and start crying at this point, but I'm a Cancer. I'm emotional. Watch the Heather McDonald podcast. You'll see I don't make this stuff up, okay? So if you haven't bought your tickets and you want to come hang out with us, some of our friends that you will recognize from either YouTube, social media, some of your favorite hit Bravo TV shows, just go to spillingtealive.com. And every single week on Wednesday, when we do the Real Housewives of New Jersey recap, we will be dropping new hints and announcing new things to get you guys excited. I'm guessing that the tickets will sell out by the end of the month, so spillingtealive.com. I love you guys so much, and I will see you so very soon. Bye, guys.